Hi there, we're here for another segment of Tree Talk. I'm Jamie Dahl with Central State University Extension, and with me I have Greg.Smith with the Division of Forestry, and today we are going to be talking about a famous bear's birthday as well as what's going on with fire in Ohio. Hi, Greg.
All right.
So,
Smokey's 75 this year.
Tell us about this. Yeah.
So a lot of people know Smokey, and he's the wildfire prevention bear. Smokey started a long time ago as a poster campaign. Actually, during World War II, folks were getting concerned about possible fires starting on the West Coast from the enemy they were fighting, and so they started a wildfire prevention campaign through the USDA Forest Service. Then they started looking for a symbol for this. We had various symbols, but then they came up with a bear. Well, much later, in the 1940s, there was a big fire in New Mexico, and there was a real bear cub that was found after the fire, and they took care of the bear. They took him to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C., and he became very famous. He was put on posters, and that's really when the fire prevention campaign got going. So folks associate Smokey Bear with wildfire prevention, and he's been doing this for 75 years. He's very, very famous.
Wow. And so what are some of the things that are going on to celebrate Smokey Bear in Ohio? Okay,
well, we had the main celebration of Smokey's birthday at the State Fair this summer. So we had a birthday cake, we had the All Ohio State Youth Choir and the State Fair band come and play and sing happy birthday to Smokey, and we had various things going on at the State Fair. But we pretty much just continue his message and tell folks he has a big birthday. Please listen to him.
Okay. And so smoking can kind of help us also then tell people about being careful with fire in Ohio. And so if I understand, there are some burn restrictions currently in Ohio. Is that right, Greg?
So we're in fire season right now. October, November is our fall fire season, and then we have a fire season in the spring. So one way to remember what the fire rules are for burning trash and debris and leaves and that kind of thing is don't burn during the day. So that's 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So don't burn during the day, March, April, and May. Always remember October, November. If you can remember that little ditty, that'll help you recall that. So there are reasons why we have that fire rule, not burning during the day. In the fall, where we are now, we have bright sunny days that trigger the fall colors, and we have leaves falling down. So the smaller fuels in the east are what carry wildfire. So you can imagine somebody has a burn pile or a burn barrel and a spark gets out. It doesn't take much for that spark to ignite those very dry leaves. All right, leaves and dead grasses, things that have cured over the summer, those are the main fuels. So fire can escape, and we do have, believe it or not, we have wildfires in Ohio. We have generally between 800 and 1,000 wildfires every year. Most of those are small, fortunately, under an acre, but occasionally we'll get a 5-acre fire, a 25-acre fire, and every couple, 3 years we'll have a 300, 500-acre fire in Ohio. Largest fire we've had in Ohio was 3,000 acres. So those fires do get big, and it may not seem like a big deal, but every time there's a fire or an emergency of any kind, it takes folks to run out and take care of it. So mostly it's our volunteer fire departments that we work with and have cooperative agreements with in the southern and eastern part of the state, where most of the forest resource is. And we work with them by agreement, and we provide them training for wildfire fighting, and they put the fires out. But often there's not many people available during the day. They're working or doing other things. They're called in. A couple folks on a small engine go out and have to get out on the ground usually and try to put the fires out. So if they need help, they'll call on the Division of Forestry, and we'll run out with 1 or 2 people and a bulldozer and put in a lot of fire line in a hurry. But generally, they're small fires, and we want folks to know what the fire laws are, so they're not out burning during the day when the humidity is low and the winds are higher, and those breezes are out moving the fire around. So
Okay.
in the evening, we have more humidity recovery generally at night, and it's a little bit safer.
Okay.
But you're
so-
still responsible for being with the fire, and if it gets away, you're responsible to answer to that as well.
Okay, so something for both really private landowners as well as, you know, anybody who's doing a campfire, any other kind
Right.
of fire lighting. And so the website was up there for a while, but we encourage folks to go to Division of Forestry's webpage.
Right, you can look at that and check out the fire laws. We have the ODNR rules, and we also feature the EPA rules too. One of the ones to keep in mind is there's no burning within 1,000 feet of an occupied structure. So that, you know, that's a law that needs folks to, you know, pay attention to that one as well.
Okay, so I know we don't have a ton of time left, Greg, but one thing I wanted to hit on really quickly is, so fire, we're talking about kind of preventing fires that we don't plan for,
Right.
but there are sometimes fires where we prescribe or specifically plan a burn. Do you think we'll be doing, what are your thoughts on that in Ohio this fall?
Okay, so we have, as part of our management plans for the year, we do have prescribed burning, and that's a resource management tool. We have found through studies in Ohio that some species of trees respond well to a fire environment. That is, burning in the forest, low-intensity fires within a certain parameter window of weather conditions, we can achieve a resource management goal. That is reducing competition to oak trees. And without going on a big detail, that is a tool that we can use. Whether we do it or not this fall is based on the weather patterns, and it's really dry right now, so we'll have to wait and see.
And see what opportunities arise. And certainly some of our viewers are familiar with, we've talked about kind of our concerns for oak in Ohio, and perhaps we can have you or somebody from the division come back in the future and talk about how we can better promote oak through fire.
Certainly.
And certainly some of our federal partners I know are also, the Forest Service is hoping to do some burning
Right.
this fall. So with that, I think that's all we have time for today, but Greg,
Okay.
we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
And hope our viewers can get out and enjoy some of the events that we've talked about.
Very good. Thank you,
Thanks.
Jamie.